me. My microphone's still very soft. Just gonna fuck around with this for a little while because it's gonna make a big difference to you, I think. Or maybe it's because it's the wrong way around. I think I had my microphone the wrong way around, facing the wrong way. Okay, should be better now. I'll speak loudly just in case. If you have feedback, please let me know. Okay, cool. So what are we doing today? I own this domain called empireofcards.com, and it's a game that I made a few years ago, and had some thoughts on how to remake it, and I thought what I'd like to do is remake it in Vue.js so that you can follow along. This is maybe a bit more of a simplified project, so then you can understand a bit better about how things work at GitLab. So we're going to use much the same things as GitLab. I'll probably even use like GitLab UI, to be honest. Yeah, because I think it'll be a good training exercise for you, and it's very similar to what I already know, so hopefully it'll take a little bit less learning. So I'm going to walk you through the game and then my ideas, and then we're going to start a new project. We're going to start all over again and build this thing out. So I'll take you on a demo first. This is real terrible. It was a few years ago, but games like this, they get you jobs, and this game did do that. So anyway, you can set the amount of opponents for the one we're working on today. We're going to work on. We're not going to use, but we're not going to have multiple players. We're just going to have one-on-one, and it's going to be you versus the computer. So we have this deck, and in the deck we have two different types of cards. These are called city cards. These are called unit cards. The idea is you want to collect two full sets of town cards in your empire. So I'll show you. So now they have cards and we have our first turn. So I'm going to place our town hall in the empire. So the town hall means at the start of the round you can pick up one extra card for every town hall you hold. So then you get more cards in your hand, which is a good benefit. So yeah, and then what happens is once so now I have a town hall. So if I end my turn, I might expect the opposing player to play either a card in their empire, or they're going to try to attack my town hall. This is the basic premise of the game. The basic fun bit of the game is you don't know how, like, if they're going to use a good card or a terrible card. So we have nothing to do in this turn, and we don't even have an end turn button, so game already might be fucked. So that's fun. There's a lot of bugs in this. I built it with this is the repo. It's all public. You can have a look at it. This is me on GitHub, Rushford. The game is called Empire of Cards, and it's live on empireofcards.com. There's some terrible instructions on the page how to play. Again, we're going to recreate all of this, so no judging allowed on the design. So I'll show you again how this is supposed to work. First round we get our cards out. Now it's our real turn. We're going to place a city wall in the empire. They've also placed a city wall. City wall means you get plus one defense for all of the cities in the same color. So if someone attacks this color, purple, then our city is going to have extra defense. So when we defend with like a warrior, for example, instead of having 4 defense, it's going to have 5. So we're going to have a practice at attacking. So we're going to attack the city hall with our warrior. They didn't hang on, what's happened? Blue attacks red's light blue city wall. Red replaces the light blue city wall into their empire. Okay, I attacked it. They must have successfully defended. Oh yeah, here. Red successfully defended light blue city wall against with unidentified against blue's warrior. Well, that's not a very helpful log, but at least we know something. We're going to try again. So the idea is we're going to try to empty out their deck of cards, so then we can attack easier, and they won't have anything left to defend. So now we're being attacked. We're going to defend with the knight. So we won this city wall, and you can see that one of these is being attacked. The one that's highlighted again, it's terrible. So because we have more defense than they do, we retain that card. We're going to attack their market. It's our last card. What I expect now is for them to attack me, and I won't be able to defend. Yeah, like now. I can't defend, they take it. Now, I want to simplify this game because I don't think we need the different colors. I don't think we need an attack and a defense. So my idea is what we'll do is we'll have a simplified cards. So then you just have one value, not attack or defense. And then with the one value, we, sorry, one sec. Okay, so one value is going to be easier to program and easier to learn. We're also going to get rid of these colors, and you're just going to have one city instead of an empire, and that city will grow, and we're going to have to change the win conditions to be like, you win when your city reaches a certain size, or you win when we run out of cards in the deck and you don't have any cards anymore. I also want to split the deck so that I have a deck and the opponent has a deck, because primarily I want this to be a deck building, planning game, so as well as the strategy. So they are the tasks we're going to do. Right, now the previous game was built using boardgame.io. So boardgame.io, and this is a really great JavaScript engine for turn-based games, which Empire of Cards is a turn-based game. My concern is, last time I used this, it was only available for React, and you can see my previous project is built in React. I'm going to use Vue this time, so if there's no built-in, there's nothing for Vue, there's only plain JavaScript, so I might actually just leave this. I might ditch this and just build my own. I'm also keen to try to build my own using like Ruby on Rails for a backend, because I'd like to learn Ruby on Rails. So yeah, I think I'm going to ditch this. We're going to start a new from scratch game. Yeah, the ideas I have so far is the game logic should be in each card. So each card should say what it does and how it works and what the turn is, and that way we can extend the game by adding new cards, and also we can have tiered cards so that when you start playing the game it's very simple and it gets more and more complex as we go on. So they are my ideas and plans, and I don't have a solid plan of how I'm going to code this. I'm just going to get started and see how we go, but yeah, I do want to follow the GitLab structure. So we're going to use Vue 2. We're also going to use GitLab UI because I think it'll be useful for you to learn how GitLab components work, and it'll be useful for me to play with them, see what they're capable of, try to find some problems, try to fix those problems, a useful learning exercise for all of us. And the worst case scenario is the UI looks a little bit too much like GitLab, but I don't care. This is a free game. It's for fun. It's going to be totally open source. Yeah, it's just a game for fun. It's not a game for money. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I want to make a new repository. Now, I know I do work at GitLab, but I don't use GitLab very much. My personal life, I've never, well, I have a little bit, but not very much. So I'm pretty new on this. So I'm going to look up things as we go. But yeah, I'm making a new repo. I really want a template. I don't want to build this from scratch. I really want Ruby on Rails, and I want Vue. So, and I've never used the template on GitLab, so yeah, I think this might work really well. Okay, so I could create a Ruby on Rails project, and then we build everything on top of that. So if we build a Ruby on Rails project, we have a HAML file. The HAML file is a HTML template like it is on GitLab, and then we render a GitLab, we render a Vue component in there. Yeah, I think that'll be useful, because then it's going to be exactly the same as, well, it's going to be very as similar as possible to GitLab's structure, code structure, repo structure. We're going to call it Empire of Cards. I don't think we need to call it. I don't think we need to call it something different. I'm going to put an emoji at the start, so then we don't have to put a logo anywhere. But I didn't think about this, so we're going to choose emojis. Emoji picker. I don't know how we're going to do this. I think I want like a deck of cards emoji. Okay, Joker's pretty good. Playing deck cards. I don't know if these are actually, I don't think they're real emojis, are they? These might be. I don't really want to change this later, so I'm just gonna give it a second of thinking. Alright, these are our card symbols to choose from. We want to use like a an actual emoticon, like that's part of the normal smileys, because in this way, you know, it's just going to be recognized as any other letter. So card or game. Okay. Yeah, it looks like these are only cards. We could have a joker, like the mahjong tile. Seems to be a playing card emoji. I don't know how that is. Yeah, let's go joker. Okay. Cool. Or we could have like a soldier. Oh yeah, like a bow. That's cool. Or a fighting. Yeah, this one. That's what I want. Why can't I copy it? Stupid. Hey. Yeah, look at that. Empire. Oh shit. How cool. Alright, and so the group is just going to be me, so I don't think we need to say it. I don't think we need to make a group. It's going to be public, so I want you to be able to contribute. Okay. So not in a group, just under my own namespace. It's going to be Empire of Cards. So I'm using my professional account because I want to use all of the freebies that I get. So because I'm staff, I get like free GitLab Ultimate. So we're going to use that as much as we can. Alright, so I don't know how this works, but let's get it running locally. Okay, so I'm going to make a new file just in my documents. We're going to call it Empire of Cards. Actually, no, we're not. We're just going to pull this from here. So we're going to go git clone. Yeah. So this is going to recognize like my username, stuff like that. So now we've got Empire of Cards, and we're going to code this, right? So we're opening this project in VS Code, and the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make a shortcut to this Empire of Cards, and now that I don't have to navigate there anymore. We want a terminal, and we want to run this thing and have it running locally. Okay, so this project is based on a GitLab project template. Yeah, we know that. Improvements can be proposed in the original project. Continuous improvement / continuous development with auto DevOps. This is something I want to set up eventually, but not yet. We'll do that later when we're ready. At the moment, we just want to be running locally. We want to get our basics. It has a fully automated dev setup for Gitpod. That's cool. That's great. If you open this in Gitpod, you'll get all the dependencies pre-installed. Great. But how do we run it? I don't know how to run it. I have no idea. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run bundle install, I guess. And we need to add a config for our Ruby language. It's just going to be the most recent. Consider adding one of the following versions to your user. Okay, fine. But I guess I want a tool versions in this file also. So to look at how to do that, I'm just going to copy GitLab. So I'm opening this in a new tab. So what I want to look at is how this project is set up, how we run it. Yeah, this is a pretty roundabout way of doing it. I'm only doing this so that we use the same technologies as GitLab runs, so it's an easier way of us learning together and easier for you to contribute. So what I'd like to know is, like, in the package JSON, how does this run? Because I have no idea. So this is a Ruby on Rails project, but do we have tool versions is what we're looking for. So this Empire Cards series GitLab, what I want is to know, like, how is tool versions set up here, just like that. Cool. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to put it in our code system, so then ASDF doesn't get upset like it just did. So actually, I should just be able to dump this here, right? And then we're going to use we're going to have Yarn, we're going to have Ruby, Rust, no, Veil, no, none of these things. Yeah, just Ruby and Yarn. We're going to use the same version as GitLab currently runs, because that way at least I'm going to be familiar with it by accident. Okay. So the next thing we want is to run this locally. I don't know how to do that. So I'm going to do that, and then maybe if we want, we could update this README to say how to run it as well. Yeah, let's try to find a blog. So what I'm looking for is GitLab Ruby on Rails template. Maybe the docs are in the template itself. Yeah. Okay, so this is just the same information on the template. We can look at the template. Maybe there's a doc here. Okay, developer guide. That's what we want. So what we want is to use the template. I don't know how to set it up, so that's what we're going to find out together. Yeah, template. Description template or the description template is what we want. What was the link we followed? Create a project from built-in template. Okay, well, I think that must be no longer valid, right? Create a project. This is the link that we're looking for. Okay, so this link should be project working with projects. Yeah, it's changed to here. Alright, we're going to fix this first. How do we contribute to this? I have no idea. Well, that's strange. I hadn't considered that. Shit. Okay, I'm gonna make a list of things to do later and follow up on. Fix link in group description. Is this the new one? This is the old one. Oops. And I'm just going to take a quick toilet break and I'll be back in 1 second. Yeah, I'll just be back in a few minutes. Hey, welcome back. Cool. Okay, so I made a list of things to follow up on, so now I'm going to leave it. Yeah, but what I want to do is still work out how do we. So we created a project. Now what do we do? Okay, so we're using the project template. Anyone contribute in the template to create the project template. We did this. We don't need a preview. Project name, we already did this. We already set the visibility. We created the project. Right. And so now what we want to do is, I guess, we want to learn in a Ruby on Rails project. How do we get started? Get started. Web. I don't know. Webpack. I literally have no idea. So this is the GitLab project. Here's our project. Now, okay, there's a Docker file. That's good. But yeah, I don't know what the what how do you start it? Oh, rake file. That maybe this. Alright, and it's got yarn. So do we have a view layout? Well, oh great, cool. Okay, so at least we've got. This is where we're going to get started with our HTML. But to run this, oh look at that, we've got a database, everything. How cool. Okay, gem file. This is gonna install our stuff. Yeah, I don't know how to start it. What was the command? Maybe this tutorial will help us. Yeah, if you've just joined, this is very different from my usual content. Usually I'm streaming my everyday work, but I'm on holidays at the moment and I want to work on my game, but I do want to use the same base as GitLab, so yeah. So maybe we'll just look at Ruby on Rails guide and we'll find like a get started. Yeah, let's get started. What is Rails? We know what Rails is. We've created a project already. We installed Ruby. We should be able to have. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Okay. Oops. Do we want to install Docker? Sure. Alright. I don't mind. Okay, so we can check the Rails version and make sure this works now. Yeah, okay. Let's install then. I might have to do ASDF install. Okay, and then bundle install. Well, that's really frustrating, isn't it? Your Ruby version is 13.1, but your gem file specifies this. Where is a gem file? What is a gem file? I don't know. Well, I don't understand why this has a reference, and then I also need the same thing here. But whatever. Okay, in the gem file, does it also have Webpacker, JBuilder, I guess? here we go. We can create an interactive web console. Yeah, I just want to run like the webpack locally. So if we do bundle install now, okay, cool, now it's working. Great. And then we should be able to know how do we run something. Okay, use this generator, open a terminal, navigate to the directory, run new blog. This will create an application called blog. So that's already done, I guess. This is what we need. Bin Rails server. What's this? Ruby zip 3 is coming, I don't care. To ensure Gemfile, what the fuck? Okay, fine. Let's see if this magically works. I hope it does. Oh, look at that. It's almost working. Fuck yeah. Alright, a database doesn't exist. That's fine. Great, as long as we got something running. Something will start Puma. Yeah. How do we get everything else running as well? Oh look, it's even got the GitLab. Okay. What is this? Okay, that's alright. I don't think we have a database running, so let's see if we can get the database running. What is this? I think this is already set up. Yeah. If you previously stopped the web server to run the generator, restart it with this. This is what we ran before. Yep. We should be able to see our text displayed, but we've got a problem in our database. Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay, here's starting something to do with the database, right? Database migration. What happens if we run this? So I guess GDK is like an interface for this, I guess. All right, cool. This failed as well. Yeah, that's fine. We need to start the. How do we do this? What could go wrong? Oh, it's created some stuff. Look at that. Article. Look at that. I don't know what it's done, but it's certainly done something. Now we're still getting this problem. Do we need to restart it? All right, so we refreshed, and we get some logs. No database, doesn't exist. Alright, let's back up. Let's just go through it slowly and properly. So we started the Rails server. JavaScript compression requires you to have JavaScript runtime available. I don't think that's relevant to us. This will start up Puma, a web server that is distributed with Rails by default. To see your application in action, we've got a local host. Yeah. Okay, to get Rails to say hello, we need at minimum to create a route and a controller and an action and a view. A route map, okay. Implementation, roots are written in Ruby, domain specific language, okay. We can start by adding a root to our file config roots. Okay, so we've got one of these already. At the top of the block, we want Rails application routes draw block. Yep, that's the same. Do welcome index. This is do articles to articles index. So this works. It should be on welcome index, right? Okay. This one. So this is what it shows. This is what we should be showing, but we're not because the database is not existing. Okay, so let's assume this bit works, and then to create an articles controller, this is what we did, but I don't know if we should have. We can undo them. Want to keep this gem file. What have we changed? This is just changed formatting. I don't know why this would have done that. Okay, we did install some things apparently. Yeah, I think this is the same. Alright, we're going to leave it there for now. I don't think it's hurting us. Okay, setting the application home screen. At the moment, this page still displays a page with a Ruby logo. Let's display Hello Rails. We're not even getting that. Rails do not use require to load the application code. You may have noticed. Okay, don't do that. Application classes, you do not need to, you should not need to load anything. So you should be able to leave this alone. Okay. Generating a model. This is what we ran earlier. Okay, database migrations. Maybe we're at the start of where to fix it. These were added by the generator, which we included in the generate command. Okay. Let's run our migration. I don't think this is going to work. Yeah, it doesn't exist. So maybe we can do db start. It's just guessing. Don't know how to build a task. Start with our list of tasks. Rails tasks. Right, great. Maybe we need to create the database. We could try that. What else have we got? We could update it, I guess. We could run Webpacker. Aborted. Oh, the test one might have been aborted. I don't know what that means. We're going to restart this. Come on. So now we should have had... Okay, great. Look at this. We have a pending database migration. Perfect. And hopefully... No. Okay, I'm going to undo the changes that we've done previously. This shouldn't make a difference. These I don't want. All I want is the tool files the same. Okay, so we're going to run database create again, and hopefully it's just asking for the one. Rails aborted, can't load such a file. Fuck does that mean? I don't know. Let's run migration. Okay. What is this? Okay, so maybe we did to bundle install again. Missing entry error. Webpack can't find the application. Possible cause. You want to set Webpack YAML. What? To compile true for your environment unless you're using Webpack W or Webpack Dev Server. You want to set Webpacker value. Let's have a look at this file. Default the value of your compile to true for your environment. I don't know what that means. It seems fine though, right? If you're watching and you have any ideas, feel free to jump in. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that ran magically. Great. Can we run Rails? It already exists. Great. And now maybe we could do like, oh, cool, we have a problem. Error command webpack not found. Did we do yarn install? Maybe we didn't. Okay, hopefully it's just that. Yeah, so if you just joined, different to my usual content, usually I stream my usual work on gitlab.com, where I'm a front-end engineer. But today I'm working on an old game that I made, and I'm going to see if I can rebuild it from scratch using GitLab technologies, well, not technologies, but the same structure as GitLab has. So at the moment I'm learning how to use Ruby on Rails. I'm having some difficulties, but that's alright. Okay, so we can see, like, is Webpack running? Is it started? I don't know. Webpack -v. So Webpack doesn't seem to be installed, I guess. Webpack has not run to reflect the changes. You've misconfigured in your Webpack file. Well, this hasn't been changed, so it should be right. And then your Webpack config is not creating a manifest. Your manifest contains extracted. I don't know what this means. Okay. Cool. What the fuck? I don't know. Is it looking for this and it can't find it? If that's the case, let's try to remove it. See what happens. Oh, look at that. Cool. Sweet. Well, let's make a note of this as well. Copy relative path. Line 10 needed to be removed. Okay. Another to do. We'll work on that later. I just want to, yeah. So for now, we have a template that's actually running. So what we want to do next is make this template, this HTML template, into a view application. So here is our Rails. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at how do we do this on GitLab, so that I can try to follow it. So here is again the GitLab code base. So what I want to do is I want to see, like, when we run, what I want to do is I want to say I want to add view to our project, and I want to use the same configuration that we use on GitLab. So what I'm going to look for is, like, what version of view are we using, and what version of GitLab UI. I know this is a really difficult roundabout way of starting this project, but I think the closer it is to GitLab setup, the easier time we're going to have on, or the more interesting time we're going to have learning. It's also going to create an opportunity for me to ask my colleagues, how does this work? What does this do? And it's a good opportunity for you to learn how everything works. So yeah, if you've got any questions, as always, jump in. Any comments, really. Any kind of feedback I would appreciate. Okay, so Vue 2.7.15. Yeah, we got a bunch of things here. So yeah, I don't know exactly what's needed, but we're going to try to work it out. Vue definitely needed though. So let's add this. So I think we can just do this in yarn. So yarn add. I haven't done this in a long time. View I think at like this. I think. Yeah. I'm just going off memory, but we can always look it up if we need to. Okay, so now we have Vue installed. So maybe we can look at the Vue docs and follow them. So this way we can learn together. Creating an application. Okay, cool. Okay, every Vue application starts with this instance. So what I need to know is where does this sit, how is it named, and how do we import it in? So again, we're going to have a look at the GitLab. We need to pick a place. We need to pick a file that we're going to use as an example. So maybe we'll use the super sidebar because I've been working on this a lot recently, and it's like a core, a very well used component. So this is the super sidebar itself. It has a JavaScript file somewhere that imports it. Okay, cool. So this is importing it in the Ruby on Rails file itself, but this is QA, so that's not how it's being read. So we're looking for JavaScript bundle. Yep. Okay. So this is the kind of file that we want to copy. So we want to know. I want to know where is it stored as well, in what file name. So it's called super sidebar. So we're going to call it something like main, I guess, and it's in app assets JavaScripts. So here we have app assets. Oh no, JavaScripts. Hang on. JavaScript. It's called there. So app assets. There's no JavaScript, but in assets there's JavaScripts. That's a bit annoying. This is slightly differently set up. So JavaScripts, we have an application. This file is automatically compiled by Webpack, along with any other files present in the directory. You're encouraged to place your actual application logic in a relevant structure within app/JavaScript, and only use these files, these pack files, to reference that code, so it'll be compiled. Alright. Okay. Index. What is this? It loads all the channels within the directory and all the subdirectories. Channel files must be named with something channel.js. Consumer. Action Cable provides the framework to deal with WebSockets in Rails. Okay, so you're encouraged to place your actual application logic in a relevant structure within app/JavaScript. App/JavaScript. Alright. I don't know what that. I don't know what that means. So if we have a JavaScript like this, for example, this is in a folder called super sidebar. So we're going to call our folder I don't know, app setup. It's not really, maybe home. I don't know. So in home, I want this whole file. I want to copy the file. and I'm going to rename it home. And I'm going to cut out as much as possible that we don't need. So we definitely need view. We don't need Apollo. We don't need Toast. We haven't installed GitLab UI yet. We're not going to use it yet. We're not going to use GraphQL. We're not going to use any of these. We need something to import the component, which we're going to call, I guess, also home from /components home view, and which means we need another folder in JavaScript called components. Is that the way it's run here? Here we have the bundle, and where is the component managed in the same folder. So in the same folder called home, we're going to add a new folder called components, and then here we're going to create a new file called home.view. And then home.view, we're going to have something like this, but it's going to be real trimmed out, extremely trimmed out. We're going to get rid of all of these things. I don't think we need any of them actually. Components, not going to have any. Not going to have any mix-ins. Not going to have any translation, no injections, no props. No data. Might keep that there for later. No computed, no watched, no created, no mounted, no methods. Okay, and then in this template, we're just going to replace it with we're just going to replace it with the title. Which will be a H1, and I guess it's called home. This is the home page. Yeah, that's a pretty good autofill, but we're going to call it Empire of Cards. So our goal is just to get that running. So now this, oh gosh. So now we are importing home. View use, we're not going to use either of these. We don't have an Apollo provider. We're going to call this initialize, I guess. I'm just going to run this. We're going to get the document JS super sidebar, so we're going to call it JS home. We're going to check for this element. We don't need the data from the element. We're not binding anything. We don't need any of these things. We need this. The name will be home. We don't have an Apollo provider. We're not providing any information. We're not creating a store. We are rendering, but it's not the super sidebar, it's home, and there's no props. Okay, and then this I don't think we need. Okay, so now we're exporting initialize super sidebar, but we're going to call it home, init home. So Now what we need to do is we need to copy the logic from GitLab. We need to work out where is init super sidebar located in the code base, and where is it called. So for the super sidebar bundle, we've got this initialize super sidebar. We're going to find out where in the code base is this being read and how is it being read. Here it is. So in app assets JavaScript entry point, we're loading supersidebar.js, and we're importing it from the bundle, and then we're initializing it. Oh, this might get a bit more frustrating. Oh no, it's just called bundle. Alright, let's try. Again, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm trying, what you're watching, I usually work on GitLab.com. I'm a front-end engineer at GitLab. I started this channel to do my usual work, but live stream it because GitLab is open source. But it's a holiday. I'm on holidays, so I'm working on an old game that I created. I'll show you. I'll do a quick demo because I think everyone here is new. This is the game I made, empireofcards.com. You can go there and have a play. I made it a few years ago. It looks fucking terrible. Sorry. I really just made it I made this in boardgame.io so I could test this. Hey, thank you. Thanks for saying hello. I really appreciate it. I've got 45 viewers. I don't know what that means. So, welcome. My name is James. I also use the name Stephanie, but mainly James. He, they, any pronouns you want. So I work on GitLab I work on GitLab as a front-end engineer, but I'm on holidays at the moment. So what I'm doing is we're going to recreate empireofcards.com. It's a game I made during COVID. I made this this website just to test the game because my wife didn't want to play, my housemate didn't want to play, so I bullied my brothers in Australia to play with me. They didn't like it though. So in this game you get a set of cards. Both players get a set of cards to start with, and then on your turn you can move either a city card into your empire, like I will do, and the opponent has also moved a city card. Each city card has different bonuses. So this one has a wall, so if someone's attacking green, then I'm going to get an extra layer of defense. So what I want to do is collect their empire. So what I'm going to do is attack it. Maybe they'll defend, maybe they won't. The real fun in this game is they don't know if I'm going to use my strongest units first or keep them for later in the game. And so here I'm being attacked. I don't know what I'm being attacked by. I can defend with a ship. I get a bonus 1 defense because of my city wall, but I still lost. So that's the basis of the game. I'm going to try to start like a more simple version of this, where instead of having an attack and defense, you just have a defense, and we're going to get rid of the colors. This is the original project. It's available for you to look at publicly on GitHub, and you can check out the game, empirecards.com. But what we're doing today is we're going to recreate it. So we've created a new Rails application. I don't know how to do much Ruby on Rails. I'm a front-end engineer on GitLab. Everything's already started. So I'm stumbling through how to create this, how to create a Vue application in Ruby on Rails. So that's what we're doing now. You're welcome, everyone. Please ask questions as you would like. That'd be great. Okay, cool. Going back to it. So this is what we've got at the moment. Hello Rails. What we want to do is we want to run this Vue component called, and it's just a title of Empire of Cards, but I don't know how to do that. So we're going to follow GitLab, the GitLab structure and process. I'm not sure if it's going to work very well because I'm not sure it's going to work very well because I don't understand the setup. But one good thing about this is I can ask my colleagues who did set it up. So yeah, you're more than welcome to watch and ask any questions as we go. So what I was looking at is in the GitLab code base, we have this file that runs initialize the super sidebar. So we're going to recreate this file. This is in app assets JavaScript entry point. So if we look at that for that here, we have app assets, no entry point, assets JavaScript entry point. So instead JavaScript is here. I'm really not sure how this works. So we're going to create this file. So if we copy the file itself, I'm not sure how this is supposed to work. I'm just gonna try to work it out. Sorry. So we've added Vue to our project. We're following the Vue application guidelines. This is made for like a usual Vue application, not one that's built on Ruby on Rails. So this might be a little bit difficult. Okay, so in our root component, so this is the JavaScript file that we use to create our Vue component, which we have got and is running. Sorry, it's not running. We've built it, but we don't have anything. Like we need this JS home. So I'm going to look at how that's done on GitLab. So on GitLab, it's not going to be JS home. It's going to be JS super sidebar. It's coming from this file, JS super sidebar. So what I'm going to look for is in the code base. We should have this in a XAML file somewhere. Here we go. So what this does is it adds a class of JS super sidebar to the div, or in this case, I'm not quite sure what it is, and we add the Vue application to this class. And these are the tests. Okay, cool. So it's just this section here. So we have we just need to add the class to the div. So if we're adding the class to the div, it looks like here is our Ruby on Rails. So we want another div with the ID of a class, which will be JS-home. Okay, so now if we look at our application running, we should be able to find a div. So now what we need to do is import our JavaScript to find this div. So sidebar root, I don't know why we have this. We should be able to see the div. I don't know if auto refreshing is running on this yet. It might not be. Yeah, this is a problem I ran into before. So I'm just going to remove this line again. I thought it was already removed. This is the JavaScript pack tag, so I think one problem we're going to get is it's not going to bring in any of the JavaScript, and it might just be because the JavaScript is empty, but I don't know. So if we look at, if we inspect, yeah, this is what I wanted: a class, an empty div with the class name of JS Home, and that's where we're going to build our Vue application. But yeah, it really concerns me that this needed doing, because so this one is bringing in the CSS, and this one is bringing in our JavaScript. One that's bringing in our JavaScript isn't working. If we delete it, then we actually run the page, but yeah, I don't think our JavaScript is going to be pulled in effectively. So let's look for this style sheet link tag. Yeah, it's a very strange layout in my opinion, but I don't know how this works, to be honest. Yeah, sorry, this is a little frustrating, but so to remove this, what we want to do is bring in some JavaScript, so we can look at like where the CSS is being loaded in from, because this looks like CSS and it seems to be working. So we can just have a look through, and again, we're using the template from GitLab of a Ruby on Rails project. And I don't know how Ruby on Rails works, but I do know how Vue works. I just don't know how to start with Vue. Okay, cool, here we go. Assets, images, style sheets, application, and welcome. Cool. So we can read these comments. This is the manifest file that will be compiled into application.css, which will include all of the files listed below. As any CSS or SCSS file within the directory, library/assets/style sheets, or any other plugins from vendor assets style sheets directory can be referenced here using your relative path. Okay, you're free to add application-wide styles to this file, and they'll appear at the bottom of the compiled file. So the styles that you add here take precedence over the styles defined in any other CSS or SCSS files in this directory. Styles in this file should be added after the last require statement. It's generally better to create a new file per style scope. Alright. Great, and then here's an example. Place all the styles related to the welcome controller here, and they'll automatically be included in the application CSS. Cool. So when we run our main layout of welcome, it will automatically pull in style sheets welcome.css. So now what we need to do is do the same thing for JavaScript. So we have a consumer. So load all the channels in this directory and all the subdirectories. Channel files must be named something _channel.js. Here is the consumer. Action cables provide framework to deal with WebSockets in Rails. You can generate new channels where WebSockets live using generate channel command. It's good to know, but I don't know what it means. Again, if you do know, feel free to let me know. It'd be great to have some feedback. Okay. I'm also new to Twitch. I don't know how the raid works, so, but I see a bunch of people join, so you're welcome. Okay. Channels requires content true, anything with channel. In this file, I think so, yeah. So I think it's saying like anything dot, so maybe we could do, we could try to move this here, and we're going to call it home underscore channel. Okay, so now what I'm thinking is, because we named it with this naming structure, home underscore channel dot js, it should bring this in, which will mean we'll probably get a different error on this main page. But in saying that, we also have a problem where the page didn't load because we're importing some JavaScript that didn't exist, and so we're going to have to solve that as well. Oh, this is in GitLab. Okay. Okay, so this section here is what we were missing. Yeah, we can also look up what this function does in Ruby on Rails, and we're going to find some information there as well, I think. So what I'm hoping for is we still have this page loaded. It's not, that's okay. I think we know a little bit more now, and we can troubleshoot this slightly better. So Webpacker can't find the applications in Empire of Cards, public, pack, main, JSON. I don't know where that is. I can see the address, but I didn't know this existed. So let's look at public / packs. There's no / packs, so maybe this isn't being like built, you know. So maybe we can do like yarn start, and it'll actually build it. But I don't know. So we're looking at our package JSON. We could try to do yarn webpack, but there's no there's no command, so I don't think it's gonna. I don't know if this will work. Let's see if we can actually access it. Yarn run webpack. Okay, we've got some problems. That's good. Digital envelope routine unsupported. Honestly, I have no idea. Let's have a look at this command. So we don't have a script, but a script, so when we do like yarn start, so in this case yarn build, what it's actually going to do is yarn babel source d library, right? If you have scripts defined in your object package, this command will run the specified script. For example, if you do yarn run test or just yarn test, it's going to do jest. And because we have no scripts, I'm not sure what it is I'm supposed to run. So I would expect in the README to find how do we run this, but it's not here. So we're also going to make a note to add this to the documentation. Now this is my note of follow-ups. Add in README how to get started. Okay. Yeah, that to-do list just helps me from getting distracted too much here. But I think this actually maybe should be what is running. But I think we can do webpack -w, and we might be able to find answer. Maybe not. So it's watch, so it means Webpack is watching files and will update them, but this doesn't work. Node internal. So maybe we can just look at this error. Maybe it's weird enough that we'll actually find an answer. It could be something as simple as like node isn't running or whatever. Okay, well, this is a pretty uploaded answer, so that's good. We should be able to find some solutions. So the problem is node is not installed, it seems. Step 1, downgrade to Node version 16. What version of Node are we using currently? Node v18. You can reinstall Node Lite from this website. Which version of Node do we use in GitLab? We should be able to see in the tool versions 18.17. Yeah, that's the same as what I'm running here. I'm going to add this to the tool versions, so then if you're running this, hopefully you'll have an easier time. This is step 2. I'm going to run to the next answer because hopefully it's an updated version. Danger. This question has, I'm going to read the text because I like being read to, and I'm going to assume you do too. It's better than me reading quietly, at least. Danger. This question has more than 30 answers, most suggesting to either downgrade Node to pre-version 17 or to use the legacy SSL provider. Both of these solutions are hacks that leave your builds open to security threats. Well, we don't want that, do we? Reason for the error. In Node version 17, we're using 18, I think. Oh, yeah. The Node developers closed the security hole in the SSL provider. This fix was a breaking change that corresponded with similar breaking changes in the SSL packages NPM. When you attempt to use SSL in Node.js version 17, okay, so I don't have a computer science degree. I'm pretty new relatively to engineering. I worked in sales for 10 years. Then I learned on Free Code Camp, so some of these terminologies I'm not real good at, but I'm pretty sure SSL is how you, I don't know, you go into that program from the command line. So yeah, I don't know. Don't worry too much about it. NPM is Node Package Manager. I'm going to try to read out the acronyms as I go through, but I don't know what this stands for. Anyway, so the correct safe solution for NPM users, which is us, is use an up-to-date version of Node.js and also use packages that are up-to-date with security fixes. For many people, this command will fix the issue. Great. Let's hope that this magically works. No. Using force recommended, protection disabled. Fair enough. This command requires an existing log file. Maybe we don't have one. You can try creating one with npm I package lock only. So let's try without force first. Great. And then we're going to try this. npm initialize package lock only. Maybe it would be better to do npm initialize, but I don't know. Great, look at this. Let's address these errors. So again, we're going to add to our notes of things to follow up on is work out which version of Node should be used and avoid this error that has a fuckload of upvotes. Okay, cool. So we're fixing this. Hopefully everything just works. This is GitLab. Did it work? I don't know. Oh, and that's when we use force. What? Okay. Recommended protections disabled. Okay, it's just a warning. Updating the web back, which is a major change. Here is a overriding the peer dependency. Couldn't do it. Still running. I think maybe we'll be okay this time. However, be aware that for complex builds, I don't know if ours is complex or not. We are using a template. It's a Ruby on Rails template. The above command will pull in breaking security fixes that could potentially break your build. Since our build isn't working yet, I don't think that's a problem. Note for Yarn users, that's us. Yarn users can use Yarn audit fix, which can be run without installing a dependency like this. Ah, shit, you know what we did? Is I accidentally used npm, not yarn, and now it's going to be a bit fucked. I'm going to remove this package JSON. I'm going to try again using the yarn command like this, and hopefully that'll unfuck all the things we did. Again, if you're joining me, I usually do my normal work on GitLab, and I usually also stream on GitLab community coders, and I try to be a bit less sweary there, but I'm on holidays now, so I'm being a little bit looser. We're just working on something for fun. We're revitalizing empireofcards.com. We're going to remake this game. I'm going to make it a lot more simple. We're going to build it from scratch again. This is built in React using boardgame.io. You can find the repo here. GitHub/Rushford. That's me, C Rushford, /Empire of Cards. My name is James Rushford. I work at GitLab. I'm a front-end engineer. I'm probably the most junior engineer at GitLab. So if you have questions what it's like to work at GitLab, what it's like to be the most junior person at a company like GitLab, please ask away. I'm all yours. Or how I got into engineering. That's an interesting story as well. I worked in sales for 10 years. I learned on freecodecamp.org. So yeah, happy if you want to ask questions about that as well. Okay, let's check to see how this is going. That's not good. This is a lot of problems. Resolve bins. Oh my god. Invoke yarn audit. Can't find the patch version that satisfies for these things. I don't know if that's a problem or not. Let's see. Let's see how our problem is going. Hello Rails. Great. And do we have we've got our div JS home, and then we've got a script running within there. That's interesting. Probably good. I really hope that works. Maybe one way we can test it is we can just put some like so this is being pulled in maybe, so we could try run just like console log hello, and then we can see if that's being run. I doubt it. Okay, module build failed. Cool. The envelope routines are unsupported. What does that mean? So from node modules babel loader /this. Okay, let's Google this error. okay, this person's using a React.js environment. They're facing Babel dependency errors. Let's see if there's any easy answers. Update Babel seems to be what it's saying. What is our Babel setup currently? I don't know. Okay, we have it, so maybe our Babel setup is wrong. Again, instead of using npm, we want to use yarn if we are going to do something like this. Let's just try this. What could go wrong? Since we're just starting this project, I'm happy to just throw some commands at it and see what happens, and we can clean it up later. Alright, so we've updated Webpack. We've also got some dev dependencies of Babel running now. So let's see if we still get this error, this module build fail. We do. Maybe we need to restart it. So we can do stop running and then start running again. We've got our page. We reload. So we can read the errors here. We can also read the errors in the console. Processing render by welcome controller indexes HTML. Yeah, we know that is the case. It's this one, welcome index. Rendering layout application. Rendering welcome / index with layouts application. Rendered welcome index with layouts. Everything's up to date, nothing to do. Okay. But we've got a problem here. So it's struggling with Babel. The module build failed. So is everything installed? Yarn. Often this is a problem in working on projects because the setup is so difficult and you don't do it very often, so you don't get used to it and you feel like such an idiot. But everybody feels like an idiot. We're just gonna keep googling messages until we find solutions, and once we do, we're gonna find some solutions. Okay, I don't want to hijack the comments here, but it's crazy, blah blah. I want to read this because it's got a lot of upvotes. Simple solution is just upgrading React scripts. Okay, well, I'm not using React scripts, so so downgrading Node, we decided against this. We updated Node, we updated all the dependencies. In your Webpack config, set either as the following for this. Okay, so we're going to look at for our Webpack config. How many configs could we possibly have? A few. We're looking for Webpack, Webpacker, and in the config we want output has function. That's how to test it. That's how to do it on production. We want the dev server. So compiled true. Okay, I mean that sounds right. But I don't understand what this is. There's nothing there. Is output exists? Public output path. Packs. Webpack compile output true. Alright, so I'd expect some file, like a Webpack build file or something. Again, I don't have a plan. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I thought it might be useful as well, so you can see my problem solving, how I do it. But at the moment, yeah, this is pretty slow going. So this is a Babel config. I don't know how Babel is working here. Yeah, I don't know if it is or how it is. I have no idea. Okay. So we already did this, and I just want to run it one more time and make sure like there's no problems. I think I saw some warnings before. We could read those warnings a little bit more carefully. Yeah, I don't think this is super important to us. This feels like it is. How to solve this npm glob parent problem. In your package JSON, add this target under scripts. Pre-install npm force resolutions. What does this mean? I'm the person that wrote the fix for it. There's some issues we want to address. So first possibility is to update the Webpack. So what version of Webpack are we using? We can look in our package JSON. We're using 5.89. What are we using in GitLab? Again, we just want to set the configuration to be as close as possible to GitLab, because then I can ask questions from my colleagues on how do I set this up. So what I want is Webpack. Oh wow, that's a much older version, huh? Okay, fine. Let's so we want to say yarn update, I think, Webpack, and we want to say this. We want to update it to this. Webpack at. I think that works. No. What's yarn for update? I don't know. So we look for help. Install maybe. Add, check, create. Upgrade. Yeah, things like this config, because you don't do it every day, it you always feel fucking dumb when you're doing it. So yeah, that's fun. Okay, so now we've got the same version. So if we do that this fix again, is that gonna update the version of Webpack that we're using or not? Yeah, we've got the same problem as before. How about we do this? I guess it's already doing that, but yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, maybe we can update this template as well, or ask the people about who made it. You know, how often is it used, and is it worth updating? What's it for? Is it for this, where we have a Ruby on Rails backend? Okay, I'm a little lost. Why is it deprecated staff in the template? It doesn't. Yeah. Okay. Module build failed. Is this the same error that we've just Googled? Just going in circles. Okay, so this is on the Babel site. And this is a React question, but maybe it's the same. Oh my gosh. Webpack dev server. So this was already there. How do we run it? Like yarn Webpack dev server. Okay, that's good. Here's a problem. Cool, it's having an issue with this. Great. Error. Error in the entry model. Not found. Error. Can't resolve. Source in this folder. Error in multi-webpack. Can't resolve it. So there's no source folder, which is fair enough, right? But maybe we need to update the Webpack dev server settings. Yeah, like why is it looking for source? Is something trying to look for it? We could look for like Webpack. No, it's not Webpacker. It's Webpack dev server. This is the config for Webpacker. The source path is app/JavaScript. Now, what I'd like to see is, what is this on GitLab? Because it must be different because the folder structure is different. So what I would like to look at is the Webpacker YAML, but I don't know if there is a Webpacker YAML or not. Webpacker. Webpack config. Yeah, it's going to be so much more complicated, but wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm scared that I've made this a lot harder than it needs to be. So I'm tempted to go back to the start and look from there, but let's just play around with this for a little bit. So we have a source pack. Okay, this is good. We could look at this configuration from Webpack. Webpack dev server can be used to quickly develop an application. See the development guide to get started. Let's use the development guide. If you tip, this guide extends on code examples found in Output Management Guide. If you've been following the guides, you should have a solid understanding of some of the Webpack basics. Before we continue, let's look into setting up a development environment that makes our lives a little bit easier. As a warning, the tools in this guide are only meant for development. Please avoid using in production. Here's the Webpack config. Do we have this webpack config? We have webpacker config. We have config/development. That's good. Environment requires /environment. Does this exist? Is this gonna work? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe it's looking for environments / development. I think, because there's nothing called just environment. So maybe, let's try now. No? Why are you looking for source anyway? Webpacker. So we're just gonna Google the errors till we find something. Okay, cool. So this is on Rails Webpacker. So now we're in the Rails environment. That's good. For the past few weeks, I've been coming across an error with new or old projects when running npx webpack watch. I'm not sure how I should be setting the entry point, or if I even need to. I didn't have to in the past. Not sure what my system, it's an M1 Mac, same as mine, isn't picking up automatically, even with a brand new project. How do I resolve this? Example project using Rails new worse webpack. Okay. That's not worse. That's how the fuck do you say that? Bros, I guess. These are probably similar. Insufficient number of arguments. That's a different error than what I got. You shouldn't run webpack through npx. You either need to use bin webpack or bin webpacker instead. I see. Okay. Oh, cool. Webpacker has been retired. So maybe here's our problem. This template that we used is using Webpacker. Webpacker has served the Rails community for over 5 years as a bridge to compiled and bundled JavaScript. This bridge is no longer needed for most people in most situations following the release of Rails 7. Now we have 3 great default answers to JavaScript in 2021 plus. Therefore, we will no longer be evolving Webpack as an official Rails capacity. For applications currently using Webpacker, first recommendation is to switch to JS building with Webpack. Here's a switching guide. Well, since we've just started this project, I'm more than happy to just start all over again with a new template. If the template that comes built into GitLab doesn't work very well, we can just use a new one. Okay, so JavaScript bundling for Rails. I don't know how this works. I would like to learn about it. So I'm going to read it and you can ask questions as we go. I don't know how this works, so you're welcome to join. Use a few different options to bundle your JavaScript and then deliver it via the assets pipeline in Rails. This gem provides installers to get you going with the bundler of your choice in the new Rails application. A convention to use app assets builds to hold your bundled output as artifacts are not checked into source control. I'm not reading this very well because I was thinking about how other ways we could fix this. Like, could we just run? Could we just copy the GitLab repo and then strip everything out of it that we don't want? This is one option. I think it might cause way too much stripping out, but maybe we could consider it. It's also going to be way bigger than it needs to be, but we'll consider it. I can't read this. Okay. You develop using the approach bundler, watch in terminal, yarn build, watch, Rails server and another. You can also use, oh my god, I don't care. What I want is a Rails view template. How about that? Rails plus view, a single page application-ish template. Let's see. An example of how to use Vue.js in a single web page application inside Rails using Webpacker. I'm going to need to break for lunch shortly. But if you'd like to, I can have my lunch and we can chat about the project, but you've got to send me something in the chat if that's what you'd like to do. Okay, so this is a single page app-ish template. A simple template for creating a Vue.js single page application inside Rails using Webpacker. Well, we don't want Webpacker, so fuck this. Let's check the updated date as well. Yeah, the last commit was something that failed 2 years ago. I'm not doing that. 3 months ago, an article. Great. So far, the preferred way to use modern JS is in an application like this. Yeah. Oh gosh, this is bad. Maybe we can follow, maybe there's like a Rails view docs. No. Okay, I gotta pause. I'm gonna get some lunch. I'm gonna think about this and I'm gonna come back. So I'm just gonna stop the stream and come back later when I've finished eating. So yeah, if you're new here, follow me so you get the notification. But otherwise, thanks for joining.